Hey Pisces, come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. We're going to drop in and get a read of your collective energy. This is for any Pisces placement, so come one, come all, you're all welcome here. Also, if you are a Virgo rising, that makes you a Pisces Descendant, so you could find something here for you, especially in terms of your relationships. But I have to say, if you're drawn to the message, you're drawn to the message. We all can express these qualities of the different zodiac signs at different times, even if we don't have any significant placements. So let's just ride this out. There may be cross watchers in the Pisces group coming in here. Yeah, there could be somebody on the other side of this. Maybe a Gemini or somebody that you've known since childhood, or you feel that you've known each other many lifetimes. For some of you, this could be a twin. You could have a sibling. There is a lot of stuff kind of in the way of you two connecting here. A lot of old fears. It's holdover stuff from your past, or it's holdover stuff from your childhood. It creates issues with your communication. Sometimes you may feel like there's just this quality that takes either you over sometimes or the other over sometimes. It's almost got vibes of like just being the host for an energy to kind of like jump into and take over. I don't know why I got this. Like, I think you experienced something really weird here with somebody where you're like, who am I talking to? I don't know. In some cases, you could have even felt like it was you at points, like, who am I anymore? With the weird tree here, nothing's been normal. I feel like you've been going through some mystical experiences. And I do feel like there's knowledge you're getting here. You're gaining a lot of experience. But there is something that you need to see here that's just a little bit off, that is creating a little bit of imbalance for you, or it's making it harder for you to really activate your North Node potential. Something you need to see more clearly. Okay? You need a clearer view on this situation. Let's get some more details about this for you, Pisces. I think you've had to be very resilient. I think that you have been very focused in getting where you want to go, but there might need to be like a little bit of a course correction, or choosing a different route to get there, something like this. So let's get some details for you, Pisces, and see what's coming through here. I mean, you got a decision to make. Something's become extremely complicated, and it looks like you got to make a call here to cut something off so you can take over, you know, full agency of your own consciousness again. Somebody's created too much complication or confusion for you. Somebody keeps kind of running you around in circles. You ask them to, you know, be straight with you about what's going on, and they keep kind of sending you in these loops and spirals, and then the next thing you know, you're down the rabbit hole, and you're like, how did it get to be like this? Like, everything used to be so much more straightforward, and now I don't even know who I'm dealing with. I don't know why I got that. Like, there's sort of this invasion of the body snatchers vibe that's coming in here. I don't know if you saw something in somebody's eyes. You may have. King shit here. You saw something in their eyes, and you saw that and you're like, oh, hell no. F you, man. Thou shall not pass. I am not suffering the BS. Could be a Taurus connected to this. You could have a strong Taurus placement. If you have a strong Taurus placement, you're really invoking your stubbornness right now, you know? Somebody could try to fix a Taurus. I'm just noticing these 4 points. The Taurus in the center there. And this need to like protect the crown, okay? Yes. Also protect the heart. There's a lot of like protection up here on major chakras, you know, the heart center, Anahata, Muladhara, the root chakra. There's also a lot of anger here too. You know, somebody may play it off like they're joking, like they're just, you know, bullshitting you. They're actually like really angry. Really angry. Yeah, this is an old situation here. Woman breastfeeding, a VCR coming in with a shitty acoustic guitar guy who just wants freedom. Wants to be free of this, whatever this is ready to bust loose, man. King shit's about to give the finger to something, tired of the bullshit. That's what I see. It's how it's coming through. Thou shalt not pass, okay? All right. I don't think it's such a weird message. I don't know why it's coming through, but I'm going to speak to it. You might know who this person is by some of their bathroom habits. This person may spend a lot of time in the bathroom. Maybe you suspected that they're kind of checking out some, you know, some porn sites or something. Or they're busy entertaining themselves in the bathroom. That's why they take such a long time in there. They may tell you it's because they're constipated. I mean, they got their eyes on some kind of pie here, you know, but I see you're kind of watching them. I don't think this is you. I think this is somebody you're dealing with here. That's kind of how it's coming through. Yeah, they got something going on online. Maybe they're talking to somebody online. If you got the details, they know that it would be very inflammatory, you know. They're kind of playing you like you're slow. But, you know, the tortoise, I have to say, did beat the hare. You know, and there is something going on there. So if they're telling you it's nothing, it's not true. There is something going on there, okay? They got like some kind of online communication going on or something they're doing online. You suspect this, you have feelings about this. So let's see what this is. You might be ready to take this bull by the horns and, you know, effectively deal with it once and for all because you're tired of trying to get this person to take care of the situation and they won't. So you're like, fine, I'll handle it. You won't like the way I handle it. I am constipated. I'll let all that shit go. I don't know why this is coming through, but it is, okay? It is. All right. Let's check it out. Bottom of the deck. Wow. Again, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, okay? That book coming through. This could be a clue, right? There's somebody here that you feel like they've weighed you down, like they're really stuck in their ways and you want more expansion, you want more play, and something's just feeling a little heavy. It's feeling a little constipated. That's how it's being expressed. I don't know what that is about, but it is. It is. Okay? Yeah, you're ready for something a little bit more adventurous or something that'll kind of lighten the mood a little bit. Something's stuck. I don't know, you're dealing with a constipated situation and it needs a major like power flush, man. That's how that energy is being translated. Yes, it needs a real power flush. So you can just like transform all that, get back to the beginning, and you can kind of just like hang loose, like surf it out, get back into your own element, back into your own energy. I think you're wanting to get back to a simpler time too, before everything got so difficult. Some of you may be drawn to learn how to surf. It's something you've always wanted to do. It's a little bit of a regret you have that you never, you know, fully embraced it. And you're like, well, let's dig up that old aspiration. You may have gotten convinced to do that because you saw the surfers changing on the side of the road, you know, as they were preparing to go and hit some waves. And you're like, maybe I want to learn how to surf after all. I thought maybe the sharks would keep me out of the water, but I don't know. I could be tempted to enter the water with that on offer. I don't know. Somebody is drawn to a surfer here. Somebody finds a surfer attractive. Or somebody wants to go and live back by the beach. They want to be in a warmer locale, you know, where they actually could go out and surf the waves. Yeah, I think somebody's got the hots for a surfer type here. Or somebody that's sort of like, is a real cool kind of character, you know what I mean? A real cool kind of character. Someone who just, you know, they just flow with life. They take everything nice and easy. They're the antithesis of the king shit energy, all right? I mean, I think you think they're that. I think you're all, they think, well, I almost said they think you're all that, so it could go both ways, you know? Somebody here is dealing with somebody who thinks they are all that in a bag of chips, right? And then that's what I think it is. Somebody here is dealing with somebody who thinks they're all that in a bag of chips. And yet that person thinks somebody else who's not so uptight is more their speed and what they're looking for. That's more their vibe, you know? They're not about this life. They're not about this hostile, aggressive, overly possessive, jealous life. Like, they just want somebody who turns them on intellectually. We got the feral nerd here, you know? And yeah, they're afraid to approach this person. That's what I feel. So they've been spying on this person. They have. They've been spying on this person. They've been doing like surveillance. I don't know. What they do? Hire a private detective? Are they doxing this person? Like, it feels a little invasive, I have to tell you. That's not really a hang loose kind of energy. I don't think that's this surf and chimp over here. I don't think this is this like kind of like go with the flow, take it easy kind of character who's pulling this. This is somebody who likes to have control in a situation. They could have strong fire energy in their chart. And this person can be a little bit awkward. It takes them a long time to approach somebody. You know, they really care about their image and how they come off. This could be a Taurus, okay? But they've been surveilling the situation, and I think that's about to get blown here. It is. That cover is about to get blown. Give me some more details about this. So whoever's been super sleuthing better watch their step, because I do feel like pretty soon here, that's going to come up and out. And the truth is going to hit pretty sharp, you know, once that has to be answered to here. I mean, go to pupa. Vomiting on cats here. I mean, somebody's got some kind of like clandestine arrangement going on. Maybe with a feral nerd. I see that there's 2 cats here. All right, there's 2 kitty cats here. And maybe this is a truth that's coming out. Like what somebody has been up to here. Now, I don't know, you know, how this is playing out in your life. Is this playing out for you, or is this playing out for somebody you're connected to? I mean, that's the thing when we're doing an energy read. Sometimes it's picking up somebody of importance. You could be like watching this whole thing going down. You could be like that, meme of Michael Jackson, you know, and Thriller, like eating the popcorn, you know, just kind of watching something play out. Yeah, this is like a third party situation here. Be a musician connected to this. All right, let's see. More details. Oh, hang in there. I mean, I think you're in the mix here. I mean, this is you. It's somebody that affects you directly. I think whoever this character is, you know, you might be feeling the heat right now. This person might be exercising a little bit of control in your situation in some way, shape, or form. Maybe because they got something on you, you know, or you do have something on them. And so therefore that still puts you in an uncomfortable position. All I know is you don't want to be in this uncomfortable position. You want to be hanging loose. So it looks like you're connected to something, whether by choice or just, you know, by being in the wrong place at the wrong time, or, you know, sort of dealing with the fallout of a certain crowd of people that you're dealing with, that you're connected to here, that are making things more complicated than they need to be. But certainly, somebody is feeling the heat. Somebody's going through a transformation. With hang in there, it looks like you're going through a transformation. It's hangman energy. What is this? This came out flipped up in the middle of the deck right here. Oh yes, life is a smorgasbord. I do see that you indulged. You wanted the sweetness of the rose. You might have had to do something a little fishy to get it. Leo energy coming in there. But see, there's sacrifices with the knees here. I feel like something was compromised here in some way, shape, or form, or put you in a really compromising position. Created a sense of divided loyalties, and now it's like annihilation, like something can't continue the way it has. Something has to change. There's a need to rise up out of this situation. You can't put yourself through this anymore. I really feel that. It's like the knees is being in a very very compromised, uncomfortable position in a situation. And I do feel like you're dealing with some characters that are being a bit forceful here. And you're just wanting to take it easy. You might be a little nostalgic for like more simple times. We'll do one final round of these and then we'll get some more details. There's cards here that keep wanting to flip up and then they go back in. I do feel like you're trying to decide, okay, what card do I pull? Like what's my next hand that I'm playing here? And then you kind of change your mind because you're dealing with a situation that it's a little changeable. And I do feel like you're trying to elevate above this situation, but there is this like hungry energy coming at you. And with a giant sperm fighting a dove, it's the thing that wants to disrupt your peace, but it's also the thing that, you know, is hoping to gain access to you. We got the gravy funnel here. I mean, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory what they want you to do here. They want to have you make them go cock-a-doodle-doo here. That for them would be like their sweet reward, something for them to crow about here, you know, but it looks like it has a negative effect on you. You know what I mean? Like as you start to elevate, as you start to get a higher view, as you start to get where you need to go, this is hot on your tail. And it doesn't look like the most hospitable energy. I mean, once it clamps down on you, it will pull you back down into the south node here. Let's go ahead and do a cut of the energy here and see what we got on the split. I mean, it's going to get weirder, so do expect to sort of be drifting off to sea for a while. I think you will be off on that Zavuya, but don't let somebody else be at the helm there. You need to surf that wave of change, because if you do surf it and you kind of allow yourself to open up to your experience and you trust the guidance of your own avatar, you're going to find you get where you need to go. It's a bit of a Misty Mountain hop. That's a, you know, Misty Mountain hop is a Led Zeppelin song, but there might be a clue there in that song. It's a bit of a Misty Mountain hop. There might be a mountaintop that is part of a vision that's meant to be activated here. Got elk medicine coming in relation to this. If you are climbing a real steep mountain symbolically and you don't know how you're going to get to the summit here, you're going to figure it out. You're going to have something to feel proud of at the end of the day, but it's quite a journey you're on here. But see, whatever this is that's been kind of getting you caught up in the more subterranean territory where everything is sort of secretive and suspect and clandestine. Scorpio's house. I mean, you're going through a major transformation. There's also a need for cleansing here, purification. Frog medicine's all about spiritual cleansing. But I do feel like by the time New Year comes, it's going to be like New Year, New You. And I don't mean that in sort of like, you know, a platitude sort of way. I mean, really, you're going to feel like a judgment comes down. Probably in Scorpio season, that really lets you know what you need to release here. And then by the time New Year comes along, you've got this thing licked. Like whatever was causing complication, you've effectively dealt with it. There's some kind of judgment in your favor as a result of that. 2017 on the clock to 2020. Hindsight's always better than foresight. I mean, I think this is little Pablo. This is your future self giving you a little guidance about what's to come here, okay? Trying to, you know, point it out to you. Let me show you. Let me show you what you're looking for here, okay? It's like there's a little bit of that energy. It's like breadcrumbs left by your future self for you in the present. So pay attention to the signs at this time because they are trying to clue you into your next steps. Let me do a cut of the deck and see what we got. Oh, little Pablo there. Well, we got sex, witch, and octopus here, okay? So there is some kind of connection here. Some kind of intimate connection here where there's too grabby of an energy. Somebody's really grabby for your energy. And then it's like you feel like your vitality has gone down. You feel like you're just not your usual self. You're wondering, like, what happened to me? Well, somebody's feeling brand new. They're like, you know, just taking all of that energy from you. You know, you might need to cut somebody off here. This also could be somebody who works with a little sex magic, okay? Can become a dependency if you need to harvest energy from other people and you don't know how to generate your own. And, you know, if you are dealing with a situation like that where you have an intimate partner and after you're with them, you feel like drained and your vitality is drained and you feel more confused and just sort of not like yourself. Well, I mean, you're the only one who can agree to be a host. So you have to take accountability for that. So pay attention, you know, who's lowering your energy, who's lifting it up. Yeah. Underworld here. Okay, yeah, see there's a little dancing with the devil going on here, a little deep dive of Persephone. Need to integrate some shadow aspects, pull them up into conscious awareness to transform them so you can grow what you really want to grow in your life here. All right, let's get an overarching theme for you, Pisces. See what is coming in here for you. So I do feel like you're about to head into that like high priestess territory. Something is a little shadowy here that needs to be confronted, but it looks like ultimately it pays off. I feel like your North Node is protected and you are in the North Node position at this time. So I have no doubt you're going to get there. And by the time you get there, you will be hanging loose, you know. You'll be taking it easy and you'll just be riding those waves of change and having a good time. But there's a challenge here. Like there's some situation here where you've been put in sort of like a submissive role and you're meant to take a stand, not, you know, be down for the count like this. And it might be a lot to deal with here. Okay. Might be a lot to deal with here. Looks like you've been going through some intense stuff. Looks like you've been doing your best to navigate it, but you know, you haven't had the most hospitable forces around you. There's absolutely been some challenges here. I also feel like you're navigating territory you've never been in before, and that doesn't make it any easier, okay? But look, you got a harvest on offer here for you too. So there is some kind of sweetness and synergy that does come through for you, and what's for you will be for you. So that you can count on, bottom of the deck. Okay, there is some kind of harvest coming in here. So let's see what your focus needs to be at this time so you can secure that harvest and you don't go and give it away. Somebody who doesn't deserve it. I mean, first of all, pay attention to your intuition, okay? If something doesn't feel right in your bones, pay attention to that. You know, if the power dynamic feels off, if it doesn't feel balanced, pay attention to that. there is something you do need to protect yourself from here. Absolutely. Right? And you are getting a little guidance from your ancestors in relation to that. Like, there's something here that your intuition has already told you about. And it's sort of like the ancestors are coming through to say, yes, pay attention to that because that's your protection. Don't ignore that, all right? Some grabby energy here you need to be aware of. Cut the deck. We got cauldrons, synergy and healing. And on the other side, death. The eternal cycle begins here. So yeah, I mean, this kind of has connotations. To me, what's really coming in here is there's somebody, you know, that like stirs the pot. And I do feel like, you know, sometimes people look at the word synergy and healing and they automatically think, well, this is going to be a totally positive connection. But people often forget that sometimes we have to face difficult aspects in the mirror of others. And that's a certain kind of synergy too. And it highlights certain things for us that give us the empowerment of knowledge that lets us know, okay, this is what I need to heal so I can feel right with myself, you know? And I feel like there's a little bit of this going on because it looks like it's in relation to some kind of intimate connection. Now, this could be a review of past connections and maybe how that's influencing a current connection. Or it could be something that's actively in play right now. And having a look at this and understanding what needs to be transformed and where you need to sort of ward off influences that sabotaged you in the past is what can bring about the healing and the type of real true connection you're looking for, you know. And there might be something too, I'm going to just bring it in because it wants to be spoken to, and this is an adult channel. It's a channel for adults. There might be something too about something's been a little bit off about the way you've been connecting with somebody on that level. Maybe you feel like it's all about what they want, what works for them, you know, what turns them on. And meanwhile, you're like, well, that doesn't really get things cooking for me, you know. And I feel like this is important for you. Like, it's important for you to have what you want. And with the knees here, I'm just going to bring it in. This could be that, you know, somebody sure likes to receive, right? But they don't like to give. With the gravy funnel, and that's problematic. Yeah, that's problematic, you know. It's time for that to change, man. It's time for that to change. Okay, let me do a cut of the deck. I don't know if I did a cut of the deck already. If I did, whatever. We're going to do it one more time. Yes, owl. Wise scene, wise action, right? You know what you need to do in this situation. There could be a little magic at work in this situation. Owl is the medicine of magic. Also, there could be a Sagittarius connected to this situation. I think there's something you already see clearly. It's just a matter of taking the appropriate action. And yeah, it may have felt like a little bit of bad luck. This is something kind of haunting from the past, or something that maybe was covered up in the past or concealed in the past that now is coming up and out. And once you get knowledge of it, it may feel like a little bit of bad luck, but ultimately this is fortune meets opportunity. I wonder what opportunity it's bringing. Dare we look? I think we should. I mean, you're only going to learn when you do the deep dive. So you got to go down and dance with the devil in the pale moonlight. And only then are you going to understand what this experience is about for you. I do think it's a growth experience. I do feel like there's something you're learning here. And I don't know why, but just the nature of how it came through, you know, with the owl and then the black cat and all of these kind of like grimoires here. This could be something about the uses of power. If this is somebody that you've done alchemy work with, there might be something that you're understanding on a deeper level that you didn't see before. Cut of the deck again. I know. We're doing it. Yeah, there was some kind of temptation here. There's risk. There's reward. Apples and oranges. But with this vampire, you're really going to have to exercise your emotional intelligence. And I do think there was something that came in for you around this with the harvest moon. Right? So it's up to you. Are you going to take a bite of that apple? You may take a bite of that apple and find it rotten to the core. You could take a bite of that apple and find that you're only wanting more. Only you can make that call, Pisces. So I think you have some consequences to hang. Whatever will you do?